Hey, I'm back. I just went for a walk. I made, I'm throwing onions everywhere right now. I made those strawberry cupcakes, and then we are having a meal with Skylar and Cameron, spend some time with them tonight, and I'm taking their other favorite thing, and that is seafood pasta that I make. I usually just do it with crawfish, but I'm gonna make a bigger pot because we almost eat it all. It's so good. So this is a pretty big pot of pasta sauce because I'm gonna use a pound of crawfish and a pound of shrimp in this. So I'm gonna be making a good bit. And I sat down and wrote down all the ingredients because I've really never had it all written down. I don't know measurements and don't know really that I'm gonna be able to tell you, but just watch what I do and I'll tell you as best I can. But with the pasta sauce, I mean, you really can't hurt it too much, for my opinion, because sometimes it's too thick, sometimes it's too thin, and you just tweak it and change it for whatever you need. But I've got a stick of butter that I'm going to saute up some onions and bell pepper. What I was saying, I went for a walk because I made those strawberry cupcakes, and I started thinking about all that heavy cream that I'm about to put in this, and I thought, April, you just need to move a little bit today. So I went out, walked a few miles on our road. I'm trying to move through the holidays, doing as little damage on the scales as I possibly can. So, because I'm gonna eat good food. I love good food, good snack. I've got that stick of butter in that skillet, and I pulled out an onion. I was gonna dice up a whole onion, but then I realized I had some purple onion already diced up. We had some taco salad a few days ago, so I'm gonna use that purple onion in here, and I'll turn that down low so it doesn't burn, so the butter doesn't burn before those onions have time to get soft. I want a good bit of onion. I'm gonna cut some more up. Probably just a few pieces of this onion. You know, the funny thing is, as I've recorded these videos, I feel like y'all are right here with me. Is that crazy? I was nervous when I started, but gosh, I have just gotten super comfortable. Especially when you comment and you share. I love it when you share good food with other people. Okay. Now, I'm gonna cut up my bell peppers. I just have one bell pepper that I'm gonna dice up. So I don't like big chunks, but I'm gonna cook this really good too. So it's not gonna be a mush, but it's gonna be cooked really soft. And we're gonna serve this over angel hair and have Caesar salad and garlic bread, French bread, of course. So this pasta sauce, let me tell you where it came from. We, a couple years ago, were eating at a seafood restaurant, and it was buffet, pre-COVID, before buffets went away. And they had the best seafood pasta. It was my favorite. I liked it better than other seafood on the buffet. And I'm not just a have to have pasta kind of girl. And I was asking our waitress, like, gosh, I wish I had that recipe. She said, I wish I did too. I have seen them make it. And she said, I know they have heavy cream and sun-dried tomatoes. And I thought, oh, interesting, sun-dried tomatoes. So I started trying to figure out and recreate it. It's a little different every time I make it. But the sun-dried tomatoes, that's where it's at. It really makes the flavor good. I'll show you. This is what I buy. It's just in a jar. It's packed in olive oil. It's got some herbs in it. It's very, very good. I'm gonna get a fork and go ahead and cut up some. I don't drain this off. You see how they're in strips. I don't know if you can see that, but they're not diced, so I want to dice them up. This is a, my glass, 8.5 ounce jar. And I'm probably gonna use half of it. Then I'll put the rest in my fridge and use it for the next time. Normally I just use a pound of seafood, but I'm doing 2 pounds of seafood. So I'm putting a little bit more of ingredients in there. So I got a good little pile of sun-dried tomatoes right here. Okay. trying to make sure I got my cutting board in the view, but not in my fire on my stove. Again, those are strips, so I'm just gonna dice them up. Okay, I'm gonna put some garlic. This is just the squeezed garlic. You can dice up some fresh garlic if you want to. I tend to just buy this and just watch. I'm gonna squeeze a. Okay. I've had those onions and pepper sauteing, put some garlic in there, and now I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. We'll do that and then taste it at the end. Now, I'm doing cracked black pepper in this just because I do like a chunkier pepper in this dish. Again, you just cook your onions to the texture you like. I like them really soft with no crunch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add, these are my sun-dried tomatoes that I've chopped up. They add so much flavor. There's some great seasonings in this oil. I just poured in a little bit off out of that jar. I have had that cooking for a good little bit, and now I'm gonna put some lemon juice. If I have fresh lemons, I like that, but this works next best. Oh, that is tight. I'm gonna shake that up because you'll find that lemon juice kind of settles a little bit, but I keep this in my fridge because you never know when you're gonna need some. I'm just putting a splash in there. That's probably a tablespoon or so. Deglazing the pan with that, and then the next thing, white wine. Now this is what I buy. I know nothing about wine. This is just cheap at Walmart. So this is what I buy. I use it with this dish and a cake that I make. So I'm deglazing my pan with the wine and that lemon juice. Again, I've just poured some. That's a good bit of wine. I don't know how much that was. I'm just looking at my pan, and I like a good little volume in there. We'll let that simmer down and reduce, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. It's been simmering for a little while. A can of Rotel. Now I've made it with the Rotel and without. I kind of like it with better. It adds a little bit of zip to it, and a little bit of tomatoey flavor, and I like it. Now I don't add any other heat, like cayenne, because some folks like it really hot and others not. So I find that 1 can of Rotel, regardless of the size of my pot, it's just enough kick that it's tolerable for everyone. Let that all cook together and get really hot, and then we'll add a couple other creamy ingredients. Heavy cream, a good bit of it. And if it's not quite enough, sometimes I'll add a little milk because I think, gosh, that's enough heavy cream. And I'm gonna melt in a block of cream cheese. I'm gonna cut this up and stir that in once I get that heavy cream in there. But, okay, heavy cream. Again, I'll go a little bit. Start with one of these, this is a 16 ounce. Pour the whole thing in and see how it works. And you can add milk or more heavy cream. Half and half, whatever suits you. And we're probably gonna have to add a little more heavy cream. I know that's an awful lot. I'm gonna add a little more heavy cream, and then also some milk, because I'm about to put that cream cheese in, and that's gonna help thicken it up too. Just a little bit of milk. Gonna let that cook together. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put my cream cheese in there. Once it gets to this point, you do need to stir it pretty often because it'll want to stick on the bottom. It's getting all hot, and cutting that cream cheese up in chunks can make it melt faster. That has been cooking for a little while, and you'll see it starting to get thick. Again, you gotta stir it so the bottom doesn't stick. All those onions and tomatoes that you put in. So heavy cream, as it cooks, gets thicker, and it's getting a little too thick. So since I used heavy cream, all heavy cream and no half and half, I'm gonna thin it out with a little milk in there. I've forgot to turn my video on. I'm terrible at that. But I just put that bag of crawfish tails in here and a pound of shrimp. And I'm stirring it in, and that's gonna be perfect. It's a big pot of pasta sauce. Once I get it cooked, I'm gonna bring the camera over here so you can get a better look at it. And you know, when those shrimp turn pink, they're done. Okay, I want you to see the pasta sauce, the texture and consistency of it. Again, if you like it thicker, just don't add that extra milk. That's it, it's yummy. You eat it on, it's good on rice too. I've done that before. Blacken some redfish or mahi-mahi, blackened catfish, put it on a bed of rice and put this on top of it. I did that a few weeks ago. I'd actually eaten it somewhere else. I mean, I didn't know how they cooked it, but this was my little version to mimic at home. But it's delicious.